on the previous episode.
What we're doing, man, 89 team in the weeks, 50k, I'm saying 50k and under, or 51k or under if you have. What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel, episode 85 of the No Money Spent. Before we get into it, I want to give a shout out to you guys. Hit 400 subs today. I didn't really notice. It's always great pretty much when you put in time into anything, really. To see results, positive results, is very encouraging, only motivates me more to put out more videos, be more dedicated to the YouTube grind. But let's hop into the content today. Veterans. Now, next week, we're going to get Rising Stars, and I think that's going to be an awesome drop. This week, little underwhelming. Darren Fells, pretty much just another blocking tight end like the wide check we got for the Titans team diamond. A little bit of an underwhelming card. Jaire Harmon for the Falcons, Lions, and I know he's Patriots. He used to get a bunch of interceptions for the Patriots. But Jaire Harmon, 90 speed, 91 zone coverage. Basically an Adrian Phillips clone at that free safety position. He is zone archetype, which is pretty good. Calais Campbell, I consider him more of a defensive tackle. 6'8", 300 pounds, 75 speed. You're not going to be able to play him on the edge. Maybe a 3-4 defensive end, but good 90 power move and 91 block shed. Run stopping archetype, so he will get that run stopper ability. Cole Beasley, actually not a bad card. 5'8", unfortunately, very short. He actually was one of our investments for Thanksgiving, so maybe it made a little profit on him. But 91 speed for that slot / route running archetype. They're basically the same archetype. Slot apprentice is cheap. Route technician is cheap. He's now tied with Jerry Rice for the second fastest, basically route running wide receiver. Cowboys and Bills team is very solid. And to wrap things up, we have Matt Prater, a kicker. Did not get a power up, which I actually don't mind because basically you'd be able to buy the power up to 89, and for 1 or 2 less kick power, it costs like 15,000 coins. Basically kill the price of Matt Prater. So I don't mind actually EA being a little greedy there. It's probably a smart move to not make him have a power up. But hopping into the veteran basically set arbitrage method, is it worth it to basically turn training into coins? This will kind of tie into what to do with the 89 team of the weeks. But veterans, 7.4 thousand training for 17.4 is the current training market. It's 55k for an 89. Ends up being about 128k per pack or per veteran pack, so we need to make that back after tax. I put all the prices on the left of the cards, or the price you'll get after tax, the coins you'll get after tax for selling them. So like for example, Beasley's going for about 225, 230. He'll get 205,000 coins back. Do I think this veteran reroll is it's actually not bad. I'm gonna be honest. The great thing that I like when I'm doing a reroll is pretty much I don't want to lose a lot of coins by doing it. And for this one, the most you can lose is pretty much like 25, 30k, which isn't too bad. Unfortunately, the ceiling for this pack just isn't that great. Beasley being the best one, you making like basically 75k often. It's not like heavyweights where they cost 100k to do and you can pull Alwoods and Havenstein to make 125k. It just doesn't have the ceiling. But for consistency, you're not going to make a lot, but you're not going to lose a lot. So it's probably the best basically training to coin reroll in the store right now currently. But hopping into my auctions, I haven't been selling, of course. Tuesdays I pretty much never sell cards, but I did sell 2 Jaycee Horns overnight for that 600k mark. Thought it was an applicable price. I wanted to get 600k, basically an extra 600k for 1 to buy more 89 team in the weeks last night, and 2 just to make sure I have enough to buy the D4, which we'll talk about in a little bit. We'll talk about his price, where I'm targeting him at. But you see, at 190 or so, 89 team in the weeks bought, I pretty much picked them up on average for just under 50,000 coins. I did the math, add the 190 divided by how much I spent. It was just under 50,000 coins. That's what I was telling you guys to pick these cards up for. And now we of course bought them. Now what's the next step? Of course, to maximizing the profit. Well, the first option we could do is just straight sell the 89s on the market. And luckily for us, and a good thing, it's only 3 p.m. when I recorded the footage on the screen. Josh Sweat and Mike Whites are already at about that 60,000 coin mark, which makes it about a 4 to 5k basically profit, which is about 10%. So pretty much you would make 10% profit from whatever you put in. So if you put in $1 million, you make 100k. You put in 10 mil, you make 1 mil. So pretty much that's why I always talk about investing. The more you can put in, the more you're gonna make. For example, if someone puts in 100k, they make 10k. I put in $1 million, I'm making 100k. I'm not doing the method any better than you. It's just I'm able to put more assets into the method, so I'm gonna make more. It's just how life is. It's how making coins is. But the other way you can also, of course, there's 3 ways. You can sell on the market for whatever the price is. Number 2 is going to be just to straight discard them for training. Now, maybe next week the 89s will be better to just discard, because Rising Stars will probably make the market go quite up. But this week, veterans, the market didn't spike up in terms of training because the veterans just aren't that good. So you can maybe quick sell a couple, try your luck in the veterans pack. I'm personally not going to be doing that. And then the third way, and I'm going to go into heavy detail with this because there's a correct way to do this and then there's an incorrect way to do this. We're going to use Reggie Wayne, for example, and basically before I made this video, I told my Discord that Team of the Week sets are probably going to be the best way to get or maximize the 89's profit this week, but you have to be very precise with what prices you pay and what prices you sell. So the 86s are basically extinct on Xbox, but you can get them pretty much for an average. I think it's like 27, 28k. I'll show basically on MutchG. Here it is. Eli Mitchell. You check on Xbox, they've basically all been going for about that 27, 28k mark. They can't really go that high because if they were, let's say, 50,000 coins, you can do that 89 or 82 to 89 exchange Team of the Week kind of reroll set. So if it was 50k and the 89s are 60k, why not just do the 82, 89 exchange? And that would be that would be an amazing set for 4 out of the 6 cards in the set go for above 50k. But AJ Brown goes for about 4,000 coins. So after adding everything up for the Reggie Wayne set, and by the way, the Reggie Wayne and John Abraham set are basically alike in terms of the prices for all 3 of the cards. Of course, we paid 50k for the 89s, but the 86s and the 82s go for about the same price on either set. But 50k, of course, for the 89s. We're going to say 28k for the Eli Mitchells. Really, you could probably get them for much cheaper later on today. And then 4k for AJ Brown. It's 280, about 282k to complete. It's going to be basically the same thing for John Abraham and for Reggie Wayne. And I'm going to use Reggie Wayne for an example of basically how to be patience is going to be what makes this set good, because the John Abraham set is going to be a W to do in terms of how much profit you're going to make. But for Reggie Wayne, for example, right now, I'm going to refresh it. He's like 300k on the market, but if you see, about an hour ago, he was consistently selling for 315 to 320,000 coins, and for 20,000 coins is basically that's where the profit is. You cannot be basically impatient with these Reggie Waynes. If you sell for 300,000 coins, and I'll show you 300,000 plus the 17k that the power up is going for, is basically going to eliminate any profit you make on the 89s. You'd rather off be selling them for 60,000 coins. I'm going to show also the John Abraham price because it's just a lot more. But Reggie Wayne, 16,000 coins is really cheap for a power up. I don't know. I've never seen a power up for a new card. I mean, Roddy White last week was like that because of the glitch. I've never seen a new power up go for so cheap on a card that's actually really, really good. I guess because he's only Colts team. You don't need his power up to kind of switch his team. But I'm going to show the John Abraham price because it's a little bit different and it's what Reggie Wayne should be at, because I think the set's the exact same and the cards are both, I would say, meta cards. John Abraham, again, he's at like 300,000 coins, but if you check an hour ago, he's basically 330,000 coins. So there's definitely been some panic selling. Maybe my Discord might have had something to do with it. They basically been trying to rush through the set, sell off for 300,000 coins, but they don't understand that selling at 300,000 eliminates basically any profit, because you see the power up, like unlike the Reggie Wayne, goes for about 40 to 50,000 coins. An hour ago it was 60,000. So for John Abraham, you can do the math. It's the same kind of, it's the same formula, it's the same adding, but for John Abraham. But we're gonna look at Reggie Wayne, because if you sell Reggie Wayne off for 300,000 plus the 17,000 for the power up, you're only getting back 286k after tax, and that's not good. That's 4k profit per each. We'll split up between 389. It's going to be 1k profit per card. That's just not good. But if you're able to sell them just for simply 320,000 plus that 17,000 power up, 300,000, 3.4k in total, that's 22k profit. Now you might think, yeah, that's 20,000 coins, right? I have like 20 of these Mike Whites. That's not that good. Buy 20 Whites. Well, you're only using 3 Mike Whites, so you're going to do this for every 3. You're going to make 22k profit, and I'll show you how this correlates to, would you rather just sell on the market for 60,000 coins, or is it better to do this set? Now, the John Abraham set, of course, the numbers are even more. It's like 330 plus 40. So the John Abraham set, huge W. You do the John Abraham set while he's going for 330 and the 40k power up. But for Reggie Wayne, 22k profit. Now, this is how this all kind of ties in. 22k divided by 3, because we're making the profit off the 89s. That's 7.3k profit per 89 card. Of course, 50 plus 7.3, that'd be like basically getting 57,000 coins after tax. So we have to add it in again. Now we have to add the tax back on. So you add the 5k, basically 63,000 coins. It'd be equivalent to selling these 89 on the market for 62 to 63,000 coins, because remember, when you take off the tax, you get 57. That's what we're getting from the set. So of course, you can't spam this set like 20 times, because it takes a while to sell off the power-ups and the 93s. So what I'm gonna be doing personally, I have 190 of these cards. I'm probably gonna be splitting half and half. I'm gonna be probably doing 30 Team of the Week sets over the next couple days, and then I'm gonna be selling off the other 90 of the 89s. I'm gonna try to target personally like 62, 63,000, because each day. And I'll show you right here. Look at the Kyle Pitts. Remember Kyle Pitts last week, we bought for 60,000 coins. He was 70 or 67, 68k all week. And if you check, now he's 73, 78. So really, if you want to hold these cards for like an entire week, you're gonna make a shit ton, to be honest. But we always want to basically get the quickest turnaround because, well, you need coins to make coins. So for example, you put in 500k into this and you're making 50,000 coins. Well, you can hold that 500,000 in assets in the 89s for another week and maybe get 100k profit. But we can take that 550,000 that you now have and do team builders, do gap packs, do maybe some standout basically investments, and turn that 550k into maybe 700k over a week. And that's better taking the extra 150k we used with the profit from the team of the weeks than basically holding those 89s for another week. That's why I always like the fastest turnaround for investments is the best. So basically what I'm going to be doing, half and half, pretty much trying to sell them off for 62, 63,000 either tonight, tomorrow, or over the weekend, and then doing some team of the week sets and trying to sell the Reggie Wayne and John Abrams for a good price where I'm making profit. Moving on to the D Ford investments, currently at about 540,000 coins, which is a really low price. Chase Edmonds last week, I did not buy him until about 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I think 8 p.m. when he went under 600,000 coins. So I think D Ford will settle at about that 450,000 coins. Later tonight, we have to wait for like the limited time announcements, maybe some team standout kind of tease on Twitter, and you'll see the D Ford. Basically, the later the night goes on, if someone wanted to buy D Ford for their team, they probably already bought them. So there's not a lot of buyers of the D Ford, so they just get basically listed and they don't get bought. So 450,000 is kind of my target price and under for D Ford. If you want to stay updated in the Discord, I'll probably be updating my kind of mindset for what I'm trying to target D Ford at pretty much once every couple hours. But that is the D Ford investment for our limited time most feared investments. Jaycee Horn 550,000, and then T.Y. Hilton actually kind of dropped a little today. There's some for 320, but he pretty much goes for like 360, 370 during the day. Pretty much it's kind of a daily cycle where during the day T.Y. and the Jaycee Horn are like 550 and 350, and then at night T.Y. goes up to like 370, 380, and Jaycee goes up for 600,000 coins. Basically my plan with these is I'm not in a rush to sell these off. You guys might, of course, for you guys, it probably is better to pretty much just sell off, take your profit. I mean, T.Y. Hilton, you'd be making 30 to 40,000 on him, and Jaycee Horn, you'd be making at least 100,000 coins if you bought for that 410 or 425k and under, which is just, it's just great. So my plan pretty much is to slowly sell off over this weekend. My kind of deadline is I want to sell these guys off by next Wednesday because we're probably going to be getting Thanksgiving hype and announcements over next week. So I don't want to be holding these cards into the Thanksgiving promo, into the Blitz promo. So this weekend really is probably the last deadline to sell these cards off, take our profit, maximize basically the limited time investments. But that's going to be all for this episode. Limited time cards tomorrow, weekend league starts tomorrow. I'm going to be trying to play all 25 games, but COD does come out this weekend, so I'm going to be playing 8s with the boys. So who knows if I'll be able to get 25 weekend league games in. But that's all for this episode 85 of the No Money Spent. Join the Discord, free to join. It will help you out. Bunch of information, bunch of other, not just me in there. There's a bunch of really smart people as well in there that can answer questions for you. Comment if you have a question, like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you're new, and until tomorrow, peace.